On the night of October 3rd, a woman vanished from a house with no forced entry, no signs of struggle, and only one door that was locked from the inside. No broken glass. No footprints in the mud outside. Nothing but an empty house where a life used to be. This is her story. In the small lakeside town of Elm Hollow, population 4,100, nothing interesting had happened in years. That changed on the morning of October 4th, when Rachel Voss didn't show up for her shift at the diner she'd worked at for 6 years. She'd never missed a day, not once. Her co-worker, Denise, tried calling. No answer. She drove to the house, a modest lake cabin Rachel had lived in alone since her divorce 2 years earlier, and found the front door locked, the porch light still on from the night before, and Rachel's car sitting untouched in the driveway. Inside, everything looked normal. Almost too normal. A half-drunk cup of tea sat on the kitchen counter, still faintly warm when police arrived an hour later. Her phone was on the charger. Her purse, with her wallet and keys, sat by the door. Nothing was missing. Nothing was broken. Her shoes were still by the door. Her coat still on the hook. It looked as though she had simply stepped outside for a moment and never came back. But Rachel was gone. Police searched the house, top to bottom. Every window was locked from the inside. The back door, the one that led down to the lake, was bolted with a chain lock, the kind you can only fasten from inside the house. There was no sign of a struggle anywhere, no overturned furniture, no forced exit, nothing dragged or broken, which left investigators with an impossible question. If every entrance was sealed from within, how did Rachel Voss leave her own home? Or, and this is the theory that started circulating fast in Elm Hollow, did she leave at all? The first real lead came from her neighbor, an older man named Walt, who lived 2 houses down. Walt told police that around 11:40 p.m., he'd seen a light go on in Rachel's boathouse, a small structure at the edge of her property, right on the water. He said he almost went down to check on her, but the light went out a few minutes later, and he simply assumed she'd gone down to grab something. Here's the problem. Rachel didn't own a boat. The boathouse had been empty for years, ever since the divorce. Her ex-husband had taken the boat with him when he left. So what was she doing down there, alone, at midnight? And who, or what, turned that light off? Divers searched the lake for 3 days. They found nothing. No body, no signs of struggle in the water. Nothing to suggest she'd drowned or been dumped. The case seemed to be going nowhere, and Elm Hollow began to whisper theories of its own. But on the 3rd day, one diver found something strange near the dock, half buried in silt. A small wooden box, waterlogged but fully intact. Inside it were photographs, old ones, decades old, of people no one in Elm Hollow recognized, and a single key that didn't match any lock in Rachel's house, or anywhere else investigators could find. Detectives ran it through every database they had access to, checked it against every lock in Rachel's known life, and came up with nothing. To this day, no one knows what that key opens. 3 weeks after Rachel disappeared, something happened that changed the entire direction of the case. Someone made a withdrawal from her bank account, 400 miles away, in a town she had no known connection to, no family, no friends, nothing that would explain why her card ended up there. The security footage from that ATM is grainy, low resolution, barely usable. A hooded figure, face never fully visible, moving quickly, deliberately, like someone who knew exactly where the cameras were. But in the last frame before they walk off screen, They turn, just slightly, toward the camera. And for half a second, you can see it clearly. They're smiling. What happened in that boathouse at midnight? Who has Rachel's bank card? And how did they get it? And what does that key unlock? We're covering all of it. The withdrawal, the box, and the one witness who says they saw Rachel walking through town after she supposedly vanished in part 2. Subscribe so you don't miss it.